Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's been busy Christmas, getting turkey orders and that out, and then I just took a kind of week off, just chilled, done very little, charged up the batteries, and so you didn't see much from me. But in today's video I'll show you a little bit of me getting ready for getting our Christmas orders out, and then we'll take a look at kind of what's on over the next kind of January, what projects I've got going on. It's a really busy time for us. Our turkey orders go out tomorrow, so I'm just getting my boxes ready here. The delivery guy picks them up about 11 o'clock, so I don't want to be messing about in the morning, so I get all my boxes made up. We use these, they're from Wool. It's sheep's wool, and how it works is you get a box. You can get different sizes boxes. They give you all the recommendations for the size of box, how much wool to use. You want to keep the product chilled, how many ice packs to put in. Now I'm sending out frozen turkeys, and they're going to be defrosted when the people get them, so I don't need to put in any ice packs. But basically what we do here is we put in one like this, and then the next one, now this is going to be quite difficult to do one-handed, but they go like two U shapes around each other. So this one makes up 3 walls, and the other one makes up the floor, 1 wall, and the roof. And now, so we get that in nice, tuck that around, take a bit more around there, and then we put in our meat, and then this goes over top, and we close up our box. So I'm just prepping them here, making up all my boxes, and sorry guys, they're really sturdy boxes. They've got like a 3-layer lid on them, so they're really tough and sturdy, and I'm just putting these together, and then I'm storing them over here. I pick up all my 2 pallets of turkeys from the cold store tomorrow morning, and then I've got my first orders go out with the courier in the morning, and I'm delivering pretty much all my turkeys and hams and chickens in the afternoon, evening. So I'm quite busy organising with customers to get the collection times and all the logistics around that. So busy few days for me, but then once it's all done, that's a lot of sales generated in a couple of days. So good financially for the farm, and it's good to stress off my mind as well. You know, been thinking about this for a few weeks coming up. This is our third Christmas doing turkeys. Sorry, this is our 4th Christmas doing turkeys. So I've got a system down that works. I remember the first time I'd done it, it was very stressful. I think I had 50 turkeys and I was just stressed out about them. But you learn, and you start small and you build it up and you get there. So we have a lot of product going out over the next couple of days. And we run a few special offers at Christmas as well, just to say thanks to our customers. We're running one, what I call a breakfast box here, so they can get 12 sausages, 12 eggs, and a ½ pound of bacon for €20. So it's a bit discounted there, just to say thank you to our customers for all their support throughout the year. This is some of the time factor and stuff that you don't factor into work on the farm. So these are all labels I got to book on with the courier, then I got to print them all out. They all got to get stuck onto their boxes, so I do all that tonight, which is the night before they're going out. Because couriers normally collect stuff for me about 11 o'clock in the morning, so I get up in the morning, I got to go to the cold store, get my pallet of stuff, and come back here, pick all my orders. I actually got, probably in my freezers here, I've got 4 freezers here. I've probably got about half the products that I need. So what I'll do is I'll get up extra early, and I'll pick all the products I have here, and I'll nip off the cold store, get my stuff there, bring it home, and then I'll pick the rest of the orders. And what I do with it is I keep it in the fridge, the walk-in chiller here, because it'll be here during the day, and I'll set that to 0, and it'll keep it pretty much frozen. And then I'll organise the rest of my orders that are going out tomorrow evening. I've got, I think, 6 drop-off points tomorrow evening. My dad's helping me, and he's probably going to help me do some of the drop-off points as well. And we're going to shift a lot of product, 2 pallets worth. I'm running really behind, but I just picked up a pallet from the cold store. This is how I store my stuff in the freezer. Got bits of everything in there. I've got ice packs and everything. I got to get this unloaded and get going, but it's just a box and a pallet, and everything's stored on there. If it's raining, which is kind of raining most of today, these guys normally leave them in here and just feed them some hay. I can let them out, but with the ground being so wet, they start getting sore feet. Whereas if I keep them in here in the wet days, their feet tend to stay better. I did one subscriber did comment about putting some rough stone in here so they can walk over the stone, and that'll also help keep their feet right, which is a really good idea. I didn't get around to it yet, but I think it's a really good idea. Maybe just have like a corner or even a strip along the gates of nice rough stone, like 3-inch wash stone or something like that. The goats can walk over and back in it, and it would wear their feet down. Kind of makes sense in my head, because goats would typically come from more mountainous rocky terrain, and it keeps their hoofs pared down. The first job I've got on I need to do this week is this girl is almost ready to go to her new home. I have a couple of jobs to do around the back here. This thing is pretty much it's all finished right back to here. I need to take out this box because I want to put in the remote control so you can log in on your phone. I've got a camera up here. I need to wire in this camera, so I need to run a wire up and down to this box. And once I get that done, the only other job I think I need to do is this door got blowing open in the wind, and it's actually broken it up there, so I just need to I think it was my fault. I left it unhinged here one night, and of course the wind comes from this direction, so I need to take off that door, make a new door, or fix up the door frame and fix all that up, and then this yoke's pretty much ready to go. So once I get this box, I'll show you. I've got made a few improvements that I wanted to make, just to fix a few things. I'll go through that once I get it all sorted. The next job after the Eggmobile's done, this is like all the stuff from the Christmas orders going out. I need to clean up here, and I've been for the last, nearly every project I've been doing for the last 6 months, I've been just dumping all the leftover stuff in here, and so this is like where I hide my mess. And yeah, I need to come in here and sort this out. It's just an absolute mess. I kind of know where everything is, but it really bugs me being like this. So I want to come in here, and for the last year, this kind of purpose of this place has been changing. I don't think I'm going to brood many chicks this year. I'm definitely not doing broilers. I might maybe do one batch for ourselves. So my plan is to like leave one square free maybe that I can make a brooder out of, but then have storage and store all the stuff away. I couldn't do this before because my plan last season was to use all this space as a brooder. So yeah, I just want to get some organization on this, and this is kind of this is the only real messy place on the farm. So once I get this under control, the farm will be kind of nice and organized again, and I'll be happy. So the next job then after that, which I need to get done by on the third week of January, is I've got new layers coming the end of the third week of January, and I'm also going to have my old flock. I keep 2 flocks until the new flock starts to lay, and so what I want to do is I need to put my current flock, who are in the small polytunnel, which is actually, I don't know why I'm pointing that way, it's that way there. They're in the small polytunnel with the Eggmobile on there. I'm going to move them out of that because I'll be selling on them, most of them anyway, in like 6 weeks, maybe a little bit more, maybe 8 weeks. So I want the new birds to come, and I want to put them in the small polytunnel with the Eggmobile, so that when they go back out onto pasture, it's a very easy move for them. It's all they know, and it will upset the older birds changing home into this, but they're kind of used to a polytunnel setting in that, and it's coming to the end of their life anyway, so I'd rather upset them than upset the new birds. So I need to make some space in here with the goats. So basically the last 1, 2, 3, probably up to the 4th hoop, I'm going to put up a partition here, and maybe if I flip you around, yeah, so all this stuff got to come out, and probably up to here. I'll maybe change the goats, I'll take them up here, I'll give them a wider shorter space. Most days they're probably 5 days a week they're outside anyway. If it's raining 2 days, they stay in here. And I'm going to put my chickens in here. As I said, they're only probably going to be in here for 3 weeks, 4 weeks at most, and they'll have more space in here than they have in where they are already. I just need to get some water, some roosts, some nest boxes. For roosts, I'll probably just use something like gates or something temporary, because I don't want to go doing too much because it's only 4 weeks. Take in some feeders for them, get a water set up, which we have from their field, and that'll be them. So that's kind of my plans for the next couple of weeks. Just work away on that. It's kind of hard to get stuff done when you're working outside like this, because we've only got like 6-7 hours of daylight. Typically if it's raining really hard, you can't really do much outside. So I'm taking it a wee bit easier, which I'm finding a bit difficult if I'm honest. Normally this time of year I've got a load of projects lined up, like building projects lined up that I can do inside, and I'm working pretty hard still, and I'm finding it a bit weird not working so hard. Don't know, maybe I'd nearly say like I'm almost a little bit depressed. Just the fields are so wet. But I know in my mind, I know like spring is coming, new growth is coming, things will be fine. It's just the dark weather, and I think it's totally natural, you know, this time of year to be, you know, feeling a bit gloomier. But I do like to remember in my mind, there's something that farming reminds me of, which helps me a lot. Like I know in, you know, 4 or 5 months time I'm going to be walking through grass. It's going to be up to my waist, there's going to be waving, and there's going to be life everywhere. So that keeps me optimistic. But yeah, one thing I find is when you slow down, it can be nearly a negative thing. Not in a sense, maybe in my case, I'm very much in the extremes. I'm either flat out going all the time, or else I'm, you know, really slow down and don't do much at all. So yeah, it's maybe more me that needs to figure that out than anything. But yeah, I'm trying to now plan for the next year. I'm still not 100%. I've been kind of thrashing out how this next season is going to look on the farm. I'm not going to push ridiculously hard like I have been for the last few years. Like I don't need the money. I was pushing really hard to make a load of money, to pay off all the money that I put into the farm, and to put some money aside to maybe buy a farm or buy a house. And I'm not going to buy a farm or a house right now. The prices are just ridiculous. So I don't feel I need a year off. Like I've been pushing ridiculously hard for the last 3 years on the farm. I've been involved in other businesses before that, pushing ridiculously hard. But I don't know what to do. I don't want to do nothing either. So my first plan is I want the farm to make me 30,000 euros of a salary. That's gross in Ireland. Oh, I think, what would you take home? I would need to look at it. It's like you take home, like if you make 30,000 gross, maybe like 25,000 or something around that you would take home, and that's all I really need. So I'm looking at that and what I can do, and I want to do that in the least amount of physical work on the farm possible. I'll probably do a video on that. I am running into problems in that I can do that pretty easy, but I won't be very diverse, and that's I'm thinking that's not a good idea, because I could do that with probably just layers and turkeys, but like that's not good business if something goes wrong, if bird flu or something strikes. And I'm also conscious that I need to have herbivores in the system. Now that's a problem for me because it's very difficult to make money off cows and sheep in this country, and so I'm going to spend, like, I just know I'm going to do it and I'm going to be looking at the numbers on an Excel sheet, and I'm going to be laughing because I'm probably going to be like doing cows and sheep, smallish number, like maybe 4 cows and 15 sheep, and they might make me like 5,000 euros. But I'm gonna have to put in like 20 minutes, well maybe not 20 minutes a day. I'm trying to really get this down. I'm thinking I can set up like 3 paddocks in one day in an hour, say, and then I just got to go there for 2, like, well, it's going to be 10 minutes by the time you get to them, open the gate, let them move. So even when you add up all that time for the amount of money you make out of it, it doesn't make a pile of sense. But you have to be a resilient business model too, and I truly believe I have to have herbivores in my system. My soil would suffer for it if I didn't. So I'm trying to get my head around that. I'm probably going to have that figured out in the next couple of weeks, and I'll kind of outlay what my plan is there. One thing I've been trying to I've this idea in my head for quite a few years now, and that was the fact that one of the reasons why I want to slow the farm down a little bit is because every summer I would be so committed to the farm here. I just couldn't leave the farm. Like every day was just a list of jobs to get done. That was just like looking after the chores, processing animals, and then also building new infrastructure and doing all that. And I could rarely, if ever, leave the farm here. Farm tours was a big problem too. I used to commit to, like, you know, 150 odd farm tours for the summer, and they were fixed. I had to be here, and they were like nearly every other day, and so it was very difficult to even get like 2 days away from the farm. And you know, that puts pressure on relationships outside of the farm, but also for me it was very difficult to get time away from the farm. Now, for a long time I love this place, and you know, all I want to do is be here, but after a few years that kind of wears off a little bit too. And one thing I always want to do, I've got loads of friends now all over Ireland. When I started this journey, I didn't know many people farming in Ireland in this kind of manner. Now I have loads of friends all over Ireland that run absolutely amazing farms of their own, and I'd love to go and see them. You know, I only see them on Instagram and Facebook, and sometimes I get around them in the winter time, but you're never really doing any place justice looking at it in the winter time. So I had this idea where I wanted to do like a great Irish farm tour, where I could take off, go travel around, see some of these amazing farms, and I would actually, my plan was to actually record it and make some content, because you know, show what some people are doing. And so I have this idea in my head that I want to go and do this tour. Now, I would love to just take off and just travel around Ireland, going from farm to farm to farm to farm, chilling, talking, because it's really good for me. I get to see loads of new ideas, loads of creative things, talk to people, socialize, and I could make some good content and put it on here so you guys could all see it. One of the big kind of problems is I still got to run the farm here, so that's why I was really trying to gear the farm up to be that I could go away for at least 2 days at a time and then come back and do everything, so still make my salary of 30,000 euros, but be able to leave the farm for a few days and come back without really relying on someone else being here, other than just someone just checking casually but not having to do any real work. And so I'm trying to fine tune all that there. It is a big, like when I think about it, for me, it'll probably be quite an expense. Price of fuel. I was actually down the country a couple of weeks ago there, just before Christmas, and the amount of fuel I burned was actually shocked me a little. But I need to figure all that out. It'll be a lot of my time and a lot of expense for no real return. But something I would still really love to do. So I'm trying to figure all that out, and maybe incorporate that into the summer. It's all still a bit up in the air yet, and I suppose I just don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out, what I want to do. I don't want to go crazy at it either. Maybe do a month or so where I do a lot of traveling around and just meet loads of people, have some fun, and get some new ideas. And yeah, so I suppose it's kind of me putting it out there. If you would be interested, or maybe I may as well put it out there to see what the uptake is. Maybe people wouldn't give a flying hell about it. But if you're farming in Ireland, I don't want to be very I don't like to constrain myself to any particular thing like organic or regenerative. I like to take the good of everything and kind of mush it all together. I don't really identify as any individual thing, or try not to anyway. So I'd like to go and see all types of farms. People are doing stuff that's kind of innovative, different. That for me, it's really about, you know, being ecologically beneficial, socially beneficial, or economically beneficial. So it's not like I'd go and talk to anybody that's doing something different, or maybe progressing very conventional farming in a new direction. So if you're doing something and you'd like me to come to your farm, we'll just walk around and showcase it and have a chat. And I want it to be really kind of farmer to farmer, you know, get into the nitty gritty, the nitty gritty, but get underneath all this beautiful, you know, we can do beautiful video that shows everything beautifully, but I want to talk about, you know, real life things as well, you know, the problems you come up against, and the solutions that people find for that. Because, you know, I have loads of problems on this farm. Let them be practical problems, let them be financial problems, let them be you know, interpersonal problems. And it's good to talk to other people and tease those out, because everybody comes up with these little nuanced solutions for themselves, and I think it'd be really cool to learn a lot of them, and it would really help me, and I would hope it would help loads of people on YouTube as well. That's my thought process. So yeah, get in contact. I'll probably, what I'll do is I'll put a page on my website, and people can contact me there if you would like me maybe to come to your farm sometime this summer, and yeah, that'll be real fun, I think.